Collective, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channel messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy day. It's a new week, new opportunities on the horizon, I should say. Maybe not. Well, we're in Gemini season, so it feels a little bit more hopeful, right? Like, I don't know, I feel a little bit more pep in your step as we're walking into this reading. Like, you know, well, depending on where you're located, maybe this isn't, but you know, we're in change of season. We're in change of season, and so what is coming feels like, okay, maybe we're going to get a little bit more rebalancing, especially as we've been moving into Gemini season. Gemini is air energy. It brings movement with it. We've definitely been seeing this element highlight in the collective as we've, you know, and we just entered into, like, we've only been not even for a week. We're coming up on a new moon in Gemini, and new moons are great opportunities, excuse me, that came out weird, great opportunities to set new intentions or readjust intentions that haven't really been working. Gemini energy, it's ruled by Mercury. It's all about communication, collaboration, day-to-day activities, etc. And as we've been seeing a lot of changes, adjustments manifesting in the collective, this is definitely where we're kind of starting to gain a little bit more knowledge and momentum around what our next steps are going to be. That's why I like starting off these readings with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles, or limitations that we might be coming into. It's a great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, on your soul, something that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing, realignment of self, mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're feeling good in who we are, when we know what we want, that's really that space that we're manifesting happiness, abundance from. Know thyself, right? Like, if we're out of alignment, we're not getting there, or whatever we're obtaining, it's very short-lived. So I would be happy to support, to help out in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into this. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I'm releasing anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Ooh, hot. Sorry. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love, Mama love, Mama. All right. Normally I can kind of like, you know, pretend that it doesn't hurt so much, but that just went like right for my leg. I'm hearing that like there's a lot of things that you're releasing, a lot of things that are kind of falling away from you. And I'm hearing a lot of this is actual, like, natural. Like, it's not something that maybe you've been like intentionally working on this, you know, kind of letting go the quote unquote transition that we're all moving through. But there's this component where I'm hearing like your effort hasn't paid off. Sorry, I don't mean that in the way that it sounds. It's like as you were putting effort into it, things weren't working. But the more you're surrendering, the more you're letting go, the more things are starting to fall away. And I feel like they're falling away a lot this week. What I like about the astrology is we're definitely gaining in more air element. Air is all about the way we think, how we rationalize. It's definitely like that pros and cons list. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of room for the emotional because we've had an overdose of that, right? Like we are coming from a time, it's been a little bit better lately, but we're still kind of coming off this time where like emotions were just all over the place and being, you know, maximized with this fire, this tension, this aggression, etc. So it definitely looks like you're still moving through some of the repercussions of that this week, still healing some of those emotions that have been coming up. It looks like you took a new approach to a situation. Okay, so maybe this is someone like a love relationship, someone you're attracted to, etc. I feel like you've been kind of switching up how you've been doing things. And in the midst of like, as things are falling away, as you're not really having to deal with certain frustrations and traumas and etc., you're finally getting a little bit more space. You're opening up to something new. And I feel like that sexuality card was a lot about like the new connections that you're opening up to, whether they're romantic in nature or not. And it doesn't have to be about sex. I'm seeing this more as like attraction, connection, magnetism, right? The people, places, and things that you're being drawn to in this process of releasing and letting go, right? Like, because you've had people, situations in your environment that are incredibly stubborn, incredibly difficult, people who want things to look a certain way before they act or take action, but at the same time, they're doing things that sabotage the connection, right? They're doing things that have kind of made it really difficult to find this level of harmony and reciprocity. How can we work together? It doesn't just have to be committing to a romantic partnership, etc. This can manifest in a lot of different ways, right? Like we make commitments to a lot of different people, places, and things. And right now, Four of Pentacles, 100%, we're seeing which of those things that we've made commitments to that might not be in our highest and best, right? As we're in Gemini season, it's heightening. It's the energy. We're feeling a lot more momentum. Even as I'm doing this reading, I can just feel like it's like, you know, you're ready to go. But not that, okay, Mars has some of the aspects, those tense aspects have lessened, allowing us to see more forward movement. But what I will say is Jupiter is still tensely aspected, meaning Jupiter is our fortune. It's our abundance. It's how we see that value of prosperity manifest in our life. And I'm seeing this as there's still like a lot of duality playing out in situations that we have commitments to. But not only that, like the way that the cycle or the closure or the way things are shaking out is also not as we're anticipating. So that's why that component of surrender is working so well for us versus like trying to force your agenda. Yes, have an opinion, have a stance, don't back down from that, but at the same time, know when to assert that and when to take a step back. Because beginning of the week, I don't know, it looks like you're dealing, like this is an aggressive energy. Like you might be taking some risks or someone, I actually don't feel like this is coming from you. I feel like this is someone who's taking risks, who's pushing the envelope. That's what I'm hearing, especially with this Seven of Wands energy. Seven of Wands is about someone who's just like on the defensive, right? Feeling attacked, feeling like people aren't getting their perspective. But it's also this value of needing to change your perspective. And that's kind of what it looks like this person's situation is not really getting the message on. A lot of like wallowing in their misery. But like I said, it's coming off in a way that it's making things hard. Not like, yes, hard for you. I feel like, especially if whatever dynamic you're in, someone's pushing back a lot because of their own feelings of regret, their own feelings of disappointment, their own inability or like that they're taking so stinking long, right? And this is someone who's like mature when they want to be. And I think that that's the difficulty that you're coming into. Mars is tensely aspected to Mercury, or to the moon. And so like the places that we're not seeing movement, we're getting really emotional around. And we're so badly clinging on to things manifesting, looking a certain way, that it can feel like a personal attack when it's not. I'm seeing this as someone who just doesn't know how to work together. Like I said, maybe they don't have enough money, maybe they don't have enough stability, maybe they rely on you for that stability, right? Like maybe they are just someone who kind of squanders whatever support or stability they have in their life, and they're looking to you to help them out, dig them out of their own mess. There is an expectation with this Four of Wands energy. But again, there's this like weird vibe. It's like when it doesn't serve them, they're not going to be on board with that. And it looks like you're putting up with some, like, I feel like, not a bobblehead doll, but it just feels like you're being jostled around this way and that. And as much as like it's annoying, as much as it's frustrating, as much as on some level midweek it's getting exhausting, i.e. it's like provoking your emotions, that's part of the intention. The earth energy is blocked right now for you, which is really talking about this need to kind of ground yourself. What does that mean? It means that no matter what this person's situation throws at you, you're still steadfast. It's like bamboo, right? You can sway with the wind, but you won't break. You can confront whatever BS it looks like they're trying to throw in your face, but you still don't have to participate in it. And as emotions are being provoked, ironically or not, like beginning of the week, we have 0 water element. And then as we're moving through the week, it's heightening a little bit. And I'm hearing this as like exhaustion. This is exhaustion from like putting up with someone's BS over and over and over again. This energy feels a little bit relentless. Maybe they've been heaping it on a lot lately, and it does feel like to some capacity it's tapering off this week. I still feel like beginning of the week you're like in this mode of just like, oh yeah, it feels 100%, it feels so weighty. 8 of Cups. You know that like it is not worth your time, your energy to engage. Like it's actually more detrimental, it's more toxic for you. And as we hit midweek astrologically, sorry, I get proud of that, right? When it comes out right. No, there's this value of things are kind of lessening, like not as much transits, not as many intensity. Well, things are really supportive in the astrology, but the key is we got to be able to see, and we got to be able to connect with the good, with the positive things that are happening, because these types of people situations are the loudest force right now, meaning we need to temper that, right? We need to temper that. Water energy is all about how you feel, how you sense, how you intuit what's going on around you. And 8 of Cups is saying, let it go, right? Not only let it go, but don't participate in the toxicity. Often when people are triggering our emotions, our feelings, when they know how to get the best of us, then that's when we need to see that red flag, right? That's when we need to see that red flag as like, this is toxic and adjustments need to be made. Approaching it from an analytical perspective, that justice energy, the weighing of the scales, that pros and cons energy I was talking about in the very beginning. When we don't have a lot of water element, it's like, okay, you know, yeah, we might be able to empathize with why someone's doing something, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't justify the bad behavior. And I feel like midweek, you're kind of working out what that actually looks like for you, what decisions you want to make given how this person's situation is acting and behaving. Is it enough? Like, is it enough to take certain actions is what I'm hearing. Because it looks like midweek, towards the end of the week, you're starting to like think about what your next steps are, and you're going within. I like this energy for you. Like, it's time to go back to the drawing board is what I'm hearing. It's time to go back to the drawing board and really figuring out, like, not only what you think and feel about this, but what side of the coin you want to end up on, right? And it's showing that a lot of this is just infiltrating your sanity in a way that destabilizes you, right? That actually takes away from your sense of security. And that's because this is not this is a situation that's on a roller coaster ride, up, down, in, out, all this stuff, right? Yeah, tower moment. It does look like, and we've been seeing this across the board in the collective lately, this message of like past karmas coming up, past people, past situations, things that are kind of shaking themselves out, stuff that's been in, kind of ambiguity or lingering, like there's no decision made one way or the other. We're starting to see a lot of this close out. Pluto's in retrograde right now, and so it's definitely highlighting relationships, situations, how that's faring for us, where we're finding our success and where we're not. And if it's hard to see someone or something for what they are, well, we better believe it's coming back up, And I feel like this, I don't know, I think I said it in this reading, this like natural letting go, this natural surrender. As you're moving through this experience, and we're seeing this as the end of the week plays out, like you're finally able to make some really smart decisions for yourself. Like I was saying, that air element has been heightened in the collective. And it's starting to give you a better understanding of what steps you need to take, right? Like rationalizing your way through things. I think this is going to be hard, and this is why you're hesitating. This is why you have been hesitating, because you're trying to be as diplomatic as possible. You're trying to not let emotions overtake you, and I think that's a really hard thing to do, because your emotions are being provoked left and right, so there is this element of just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this is going to fare out. I don't know if this is worth it to do this or to do this, and you're deliberating through a lot. I think there is a component of surrender, because I'm hearing no matter what you do, someone's always going to be upset. Someone's always going to be mad. Someone's always going to disagree. And that's that part of you that's like, I don't want to be pulled on this roller coaster anymore, is what I'm hearing. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. So it's like, we have to deal with the present. We have to deal with the present. We can't just sweep it under the rug. We got to deal with it in order to release it, in order to let it go. And also to kind of have some level of peace about what has happened to us, what we've been through, how we've kind of had to learn, grow, etc. The union of hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. Sometimes we can't make sense of it. I think that's just life, We talked about this a lot in the trauma and the healing reading. Definitely check it out, especially if you're in a dynamic where someone is taking advantage of you to the point that it's extremely toxic. We saw that 8 of Cups, right? Like not letting someone else's bad behavior continue to infiltrate your choices, your decisions. Yeah, those relationships, those dynamics are not always easy to understand, but remember, like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. If you want more stability, you need to choose stability, right? And this is kind of where this comes into play of letting go, releasing of the toxicity, because essentially you're making boundaries. I don't want to participate in this anymore. This is not the type of commitment that I signed up for. And yeah, those are really hard things to make decisions around. There's some finality in this, but this is also what the astrology or the collective, what we're moving through. We're being forced to move through. So we can better align with what we want, i.e. that Pluto in Aquarius. It might seem superficial, but it's really not. It actually is connected to those deeper parts of healing for our mind, our body, our soul. So thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.